Salutations everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Sunless Sea. I am your host, BrainBoy20, where we had last left off. Budero and I have been searching the Empire of Hands and completing a port report there after dropping off the Empire of Hands' newest inhabitant, the Sigil Navigator. Now, sailing on the Empire of Hands to Fountainhead Island, ancient secrets peek out of the trees. Any may visit, but few pennies ever bother to make the pilgrimage. A young ancient empire. The Empire of Hands is hardly as old as they pretend, but mimicry and theft infused their whole culture. If the Pendies have come to think that rulers should be buried in ancient temples, then it is ancient temples that they will build. It would hardly be the first of their attempts to mirror humanity that have entirely missed the point. Fountainhead Island. Swiftly growing vegetation keeps a thick forest wrapped around variably ancient ruins. Even the yet-to-be-plundered ones are heavily scarred with crowbar marks. A temple in the forest. In a clearing of parasynthetic trees looms an imposing structure of wood and stone. Makes me sad that I don't have the ancientest treasure map. The Vault of the First Emperor. It stretches through the forest in a mix of stone and wood, its style at the mercy of Pentecost Ape's current whimsies and inspirations. It would take a dedicated team to break in and uncover its secrets. Perhaps it will bring one here later. Oh well, return to the boat. It'll take a better equipped expedition to uncover this island's secrets and treasures. Perhaps there's someone in Fallen London who might be able to help get the treasures of the island. Oh gosh, my eye itches. Perhaps you can use the information you've gleaned to prepare a comprehensive port report. Few have reason to brave the waters this far east, especially with the trade embargo. The Admiralty will pay especially well for up-to-date intelligence. The Island of the Empire. All of them warrant further attention. For now, though, it would be the best if your initial discoveries can whet the interest of anyone back home. And we're not here to sail the Empire of Hands at this moment. I actually want to go to Port Stanton because, unfortunately, I'm just going to have to gather my strategic information here. Words on the wind. The barely sold monkeys of Port Stanton mutter together in a dozen bastardized dialects. Invented stories, gossip 20 years old, imitation revelations from the scraps of subconscious knowledge that adhere to souls. The effect is a sampling of rich, fascinating stew that might just possibly contain rat droppings. The Admiral would regard this mission as a failure, but others might be interested. Onesie story and one intriguing snippet. If you completed your commission, return to the Admiralty. You sadden me. Anyway, not much else here for us, so let us shove off once more into the deep Black Sea. On our journey... Ooh, get back here. On our journey back, we shall visit the locations of the Salt Lions. Yeah, it looks like we're going through Shadow Khan's glory in the Salt Lions. I suppose that's not really a bad thing. I'll have to remember to mute that. I'm actually surprised I was able to click off screen, but that was my mistake. I should make sure to black that out. Not like you're seeing much, you're seeing my desktop and that's about it. Another nice background, but there's a few things on there that I'd like to keep hidden. Mostly a friend's work of mine. He's doing a bit more of the game development stuff, which is what my actual preferred career of study would be. If I wasn't stuck doing all the general education stuff first before transferring to a different university. Regardless, enough on that. Continuing our journey on the Sunless Isles. We currently have the Carnelian Exile. How to speak to you? I need a Syrian enigma. Disappointing. She has the discomforting, even irritating habit of answering your questions just before you finish speaking. Invite her to dine with you, and ask her to remove her glasses. You'll need to tempt her with the very finest gossip of the sea. Ask her to dine with you, but don't ask her to remove her glasses. We can improve her secrets and mirrors. I don't like the idea of the snaggletooth. That makes me... At least it evokes the concept of demons and otherwise. Who's trying to kill me? And Godfall is some distance in that general direction. Well, we might as well pay a visit. Nothing? Really? Must you disappoint me that much, game? Oh hey, Polythereme, good to see you again. I am not reading that again. The last time I did that, it was a massive failure. At least in my eyes. Oh Godfall, what do you have for me? I remember that this required a fair amount of, mushroom wine. In order to do anything there, I should remember to go get some and bring it out this far if I head back to the Empire of Hands anytime soon. Sometimes, just occasionally, bits of the roof fall off. Be glad you weren't here when this one did. The bearded men who live here call themselves monks. They pay lip service to Saint Stalactite, which fell from the roof, but the chief interests seem to be wine, blood, and shouting. Of wine, the throats of the brothers are dry. They'll pay for something to moisten them. Of blood, offer them a hunting trophy as a gift for their collection. Or of shouting, let them tell you about the past and present events in the monastery. And we could explore the shattered citadel, but I have no interest in doing so just yet. They're eager to talk about their history. The stalactite, they assure you, is one of the citadels of the starved men who dwell on the roof. When it fell, a few of its occupants survived to become the monks' progenitors. How does that work, you wonder? With their vow of celibacy, they become vague and are suddenly eager to speak of the details of passing a shipping. There really is not much else to do here. But if we can already spot commingle from here, it means we are literally right next to Polythereme, so there's no reason not to go there. Polythereme does not hurt you. Commingle, obey, endure, forlorn. These are the stations of Polythereme, and this is what we shall explore today. Here is screaming. Nothing in the shipyard, but there's stuff in the shops. We're not going to get We of Clay, as nice as it is to get the extra engine power and irons. I am unable to, well, I don't feel like dealing with them at this exact moment. Nothing here in the hold that interests me. What did the Tacturned Clayman have? Port-a-port of Polythereme. Tacturned Clayman, evasive clothes colonies, walking like humans, cobbles that groan underfoot. On the hills above, a palace villa of marble, but even that writhes like buried bones in an earthquake. What lives? The king with 100 hearts rules from his palace above the city. He is never seen. He makes no treaties with other lands, but there's unrest in the air. The claymen you speak to are obedient and humble, but they speak nervously of those who are not. The maimed, the rebellious, the unfinished. We can get shore leave if we feel like. I don't feel like reducing my terror. I'm fairly not full on them. But I might as well carry some claymen to London. Are they passengers or cargo? They're certainly the easiest passengers to imaginable, unless one of them turns out to be an unfinished man. Each one lies down in an appointed position next to the other, nested snugly, head by foot. We are for London, one explains to you. And this also gives me a brilliant excuse to work on the tireless mechanic's story by heading through Khan's shadow and getting the mirror catch dreamsnakes. And who knows, maybe if we encounter a trireme, I might be interested in trying to combat one. I think I've got the best cannon available in the game so far, without a much bigger vessel at least. I need to really scratch my ear right now, excuse me. I don't know if that'll actually show up on recording or not. This microphone's actually really sensitive. And if you're wondering why there's so much echoing, it's because I can't soundproof my room, and that's basically the only issue I've had. If I was able to soundproof my room, I would be, like, completely free of this. You'd get my voice in all its glory. I could make it as loud as I want, and most you'd ever hear is clicking from my mouse or keyboard, which is just something I can never, like, avoid. But alas, I live at home. Home being with my parents, for I'm a college student. And they're at least kind enough to let me do this. And then do this whole YouTube business, which is primarily of my own accord, so that's nice. Anyway, to the Carnage and Khan's shadow. That's a trireme. That is a trireme. Please no. Please. Okay, good. It had no interest in conflict either. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of scared me a little. Alright. One mirror catch lockbox, please. Anything else for us? Yeah. Not really. Good day. I will not cause trouble. Anything else here? Have a one-eyed skim shaver cut off something from your hunting trophy, and trade a hunting trophy for a full watchful curios. I forgot that there was something that could happen here. I really should try to get some hunting trophies from now on, or at least keep them. You know, ever since I updated the new microphone, it's a little disconcerting to look at, like, the audio stream, at least the audio stream that's in recording. Because usually I'm used to seeing a lot higher peaks. And it's also partially why I have to artificially boost the volume by so much, but if I boost the sensitivity much else, you'll get so much background noise and so many echoes, that doesn't really matter now, does it? And like, any boost in audio quality is immediately traded off with drops in virtually everything else. How's my hold looking? I suppose we can go past the Salt Lions. I'd very much like to visit them to pick up some more supplies, but currently the Claymen are more important. And I can't really drop them any supplies and much fuel if I'm to make the still somewhat lengthy trip back to London. I think I actually can. I need to drop 7. So I would have to drop primarily supplies. I'll be eating some supplies now. Now, there we go. Eating some supplies, I'm burning another piece of fuel. That brings me down to 5. And I'll ditch 3 supplies, 2 fuel. And I should be able to make it to London and to the other location, picking up some more Claymen, supplies, and otherwise. So let's see how that works out. I'll see if I can even sell them, because I don't want to ditch anything if I don't have to. Ah, great, fog bank. I want more fuel. I can't sell anything here, that's disappointing. I'll visit the Unmakers and reduce some terror as a result. I don't wish to assay, but I wish to pitch. So we shall pitch 3 supplies, 2 fuel, because we currently have 1 burning. Done. That puts us at exactly 20, and we'll carry some Sphinx Stone to London and continue offloading. Now, I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm just going to go straight through the fog bank. It's not advisable because terror will rise by an insane degree, but I don't think we slow down at all, which is the important bit. I'd very much like to speed things up on this journey, but I don't think I can afford to do so. Oh, great. Nope. Full speed ahead, lights off. Terror will be rising at full, but hopefully the Gilliflower will leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Gilliflower, how are you following me? Go in another direction. Alright, you can pop the lights now. We don't need to be blind. Now what damages have been done? I don't think much of anything. Oh yeah, I was supposed to stop at Domino's Isle. I pick up a few supplies there. The thing is, I'd be going from Domino's Isle to Hunter's Keep back down to London. I don't know if I can afford that, or if I'll run out of fuel before then. But I also don't want to stop by Fallen London just yet. Can I, like, is God awaiting for me in port, or am I just getting this incredibly bright flashing light for no apparent reason? We're picking up a free bit of supplies here on Domino Isle. Don't worry about that. Unless we have to use if something awaits us in port here. In which case I'd be concerned. We have fed the crew. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Okay. Bargain with the Factor for a secret. The irrepressible cannoneer is convinced that the Factor knows more about a weapon. The company's terrible prototype. You will need a bribe. It's only fair. We can pay it that easily. A shared and sordid past. Even with the bribe, the Factor's reluctant to talk, but it seems the cannoneer knew him in the old days. And he's even more reluctant to have the cannoneer talk about the old days. Finally, he gives in. I reckon it was a place called Astival. Do you know it? It's a striking place. You wouldn't believe me if I told you. It's east. A long way east. We took it off all the maps. Not that maps lasted Z anyway. That's all I know. Now, shall we let the past lie where it fell? And, we'll take some tea with the Factor. I'll compile a port report, naturally. And what the heck? Provide a respite from mushrooms. Here, it's mushrooms for every meal. A sign on the dock, blotched by mildew, promises a reward for anyone who provides an alternative. Trade 2 strange catches for a soothing copper-long box. You piqued my interest. A desperate joy. The affable Factor covers his mouth as he peers into the crate. He turns and stumbles, sobbing into your arms. Meat? Oh, bless you. Please, in thanks. He waves in 2 sturdy, bodacious fellows bearing a coffin. Part of a misdelivered consignment. I'm sure you'll find some use for it. And if not, well, there are always buyers. I mean, I guess we discovered a way to get something from the Soothing Copper series. And we have some terror. We'll gain 5 terror and fucking dread. Gather some supplies. Some of the island's fungus is good to eat. Some is poisonous, hallucinogenic, and mischievous. Good luck. And we'll do this twice, and leave our terror at a whopping 20. As I might have to burn these fungus for supplies on the way back to London, and I just wanted to be certain that I was able to do so without cost. I don't know if you can even pick up my phone from here, or at least the vibrations of my phone when I interact with it, as I usually get contacted either through the Facebook chats and otherwise with the RP group I'm in. Because I occasionally post about Only War and Horus Heresy, or I should say Dark Heresy, but we're running it in a Horus Heresy setting, mostly because we wanted to do that for a campaign for a while. And currently, my characters are a Sister of Silence in Horus Heresy, and a shamanistic psyker for a custom regiment in Only War, which thankfully is not as lethal for me as everyone else, as even with my abysmal toughness of 29 out of 100, I can apparently pass every poison check I come across, and it's great. So many people have burned fate points, and yet I've only ever burned it once, and that was when I was not playing the character, which is just perfect for me. Then again, I also haven't really killed anything, but I am playing a divination psyker. For those who don't know, the divination tree of psychers in Dark Heresy or Only War, as they have very similar psychic trees, is focused around supporting roles. And basically it's my teammates protecting me to keep me alive, so I can give them enough buffs so they can even hurt what we're fighting, usually. As we're currently fighting, I think, what was it, the Eldar? I don't remember the craft world, but we ended up having our people on the ground having to fight off against a Wraith Guard. Not Wraith Lord, we would have died. Anyway, enough of that. We're at Hunter's Keep once again. Hunter's Keep in ruins. And let's look on in the ruins. Oh, no, not yet. I need a foxfire candle. You sadden me. Right, the mechanic says. That's, a problem. The pool we need is down there. He points to the ruins. I'm afraid we'll need to do some digging. Is anything changed? Winds, weed, water, tumbled stones, the garden unwinding gently into disorder, week on week. Nothing more. Well, that was disappointing. I have to remember not to drop off those of polytheremes. I need to grab a foxfire candle and a few bits of fuel. But I can at least ditch the Sphinx stone. And I'm so thankful that the Ministry of Public Decency is not, like, pissant about us bringing in Sphinx Stone to London. I was supposed to say, did they have radios in Victorian London? And then I realized that I'm an idiot for even thinking that they possibly had it. When they had to use gas lamps, primarily. And, like, the high electricity was, like, a mixture between recent things and otherwise. Like, I think they're on the cusp of it. With 18... Oh, no, I think they actually had light bulbs. No, that'd be too useful. Nothing to hide. Inspection by the Ministry of Public Decency, not my problem. Collect messages from the Harbour Master. What's all this? Rose's Market buffers on Rose's Wharf. Who will be there today? And I've been invited. I gotta pick up an agent, but there's no point. Rose's Wharf, what do you have for me? A jovial contrarian is purchasing long boxes. His wheelchair squeaks through the crowd. As all visitors to the Rose Market must, he carries a mirror. He's painted over the glass, though, with the face of a bat. How much? What for this? Allow me to explain the fundamental principles of economics. He argues over the cost, the box's condition, and whether the wood is walnut, poplar, or elm. Then he shakes her hand enthusiastically and happily pays every penny of your original price. A pair of market attendants, puffing beneath their unwieldy horse masks, help him carry it out. The Rose's Market is concluded for now. Disappointing. Delivery of Sphinx Stone. Lost to Terra, sign his receipt, 500 echoes, thank you very much. No clayman just yet, but a new recruit. Who might this be? The Brisk Campaigner. Now I can pick you up for 50 echoes. You can't possibly hurt me in any way, shape, or form, so I might as well. No memory of distant shores as these stories, but you did invite me over, so a little present. Oh, my business with the alarming scholar is concluded for now. Oh, never mind, he's still there. Getting 2 supplies. Thank you. You actually terrified me for a moment. Now, the supplies I currently have, I'm going to want to purchase a few bits of fuel, but not before I visit the Bespectacled Admiral and start submitting some revelatory charts. Where do you need to go? Shalonate, far to the east of London. Well, I discovered that now, didn't I? But I need to submit a revelatory chart, getting 250 echoes per each. And to submit my port reports. Domino's Isle. Now, Godfall, for those who haven't seen. Pirate monks. Oh, so they have no idea what we're supposed to do about pirate monks. What are they up to? Polythereme, the king with 100 hearts. What a useful fellow. Without his exports, I'd be delivering my own coal. Empire of Hands. Oh goodness, what are those accursed monkeys up to these days? You didn't bring any of them back with you, did you? Report submitted. Such a ghastly place. A pause. You know, there was somebody here asking about it only recently. Delightful lady, as I recall. Most delightful. Yes, I shall take the liberty of forwarding your address. Something new awaits in my lodgings. Hopefully my lover isn't disappointed by this. The Shalonate. It's not as revolting as they say. What about the smell? Fathom King's Hold. What's that old monster up to now? And Khan's Shadow. They all stand around. We lose a lot of terror. Salt lions. I've gained a lot of fuel, and I'm odd 4,000 echoes. Oh my gosh, that's glorious. Oh, we're not going to deliver Clayman just yet. I have some business to attend to first. Perhaps not. We shall be back. I just need to purchase, what was it, 1 foxfire candle. And off we go. Once more into the Black Sea, just to visit Hunter's Keep, before inevitably heading back. What was the object again? A mirror-catch box of very angry dream snakes? You know, that doesn't even terrify me at all. Like, what would a dream snake even eat? Dream mice? Do they consume the mice that run through our dreams? There's one particular one that appears in my head every so often that I'd very much like to get rid of. There's a giant rodent that popped up occasionally, and it was just like... It's like at the one point in the dream where I can't really question it because of like an event that happened much earlier in my life, but still, it bothers me to this day. Anyway, Hunter's Keep. Alright, let's see what happens here. Beneath Hunter's Keep, it takes a full day to clear away sufficient ruins to reach the cellars. In the deepest sub-cellar, your candles illuminate a litter of tumbled stones, remnants of a temple. The signs in the stones have a Kaganian look. A pool at the cellar's center is almost dry. The remaining waters there seethe oddly in the candlelight, as if it were near boiling, but it's quite cool to the touch. The writhing river flows near here, the mechanic remarks, one of the tributaries of Dream. My enemies fight me when I sleep, but this water will attract my enemies to this poor fellow. He bends to dip his hand in the water and sketches a sign on the clay man's forehead. The man watches him stolidly. The mechanic hands him a mirror-catch box. Hold this, he says. Keep it open. Don't let go, no matter what happens. The clay man's huge hands enfold the box. There, the mechanic says, turning to you. A serpent trap. Now I can sleep. I can finally sleep. He smiles. And then I think I might be able to offer you something rather interesting. Nothing else here. Shoving off once more, but let's do a brief speak to. Allow the mechanic to enjoy his sleep. It might be messy, he warns you. Could you have a couple of strong sailors standing by? Tell them to snap the box shut when the trouble begins. He holds a bottle of laudanum. I will be sleeping deeply. A sudden amount of excitement. When nothing seems to be happening, you take to your bunk, but a roar from the clayman brings you sprinting back to the mechanic's cabin. You fling open the door. The man's eyes seethe with Derek flame. It's struggling against the effort of the sailors to restrain it. As you rush to assist, it flings one sailor off, but the other manages to snap the box closed. Instantly, the man goes stiff, a lifeless clay statue. The vivid glow now pulsates from the box. In the bunk, the mechanic sleeps on. His face wreathed in dreamy smiles. He will sleep so until morning. You learned that the mechanic stole a secret from the dreams of the stone pigs. Lost a serpent trap, but we had a mirror-catch box full of very angry dream snakes. Ask the mechanic to explain what exactly the hell is going on. Well, it's like this. I stole the secret from the Echo Bazaar, with the help of the Finger Kings. You know, the serpents who rule dreams. Then I revenged on the Finger Kings. Don't look at me like that. Would you rather I'd given them a secret? Pigs of stone. I talk about engines all the time. I'm sure you've noticed, and I dream about them. I find myself dreaming of the stone pigs. They're... oh, I don't entirely understand still, but they're how the bazaar travels between stars. Did you know they did that? Then they sleep, so the Finger Kings can crack their dreams open, so the Finger Kings recruited me. I found a secret in those dreams, an engine that the Z's never seen. Oh, Captain, let me build it for you. You won't be sorry, but there are some things I'll need. I know, isn't it always the way? Your objective materials for the impeller. The quality is now 1. Take 1 element of dawn, 1 casket of sapphires, and 40 units of Stygian ivory. The mechanic's secret in Frostbound, quality is now 1. Find Frostbound in the north and retrieve the mechanic's secret from them. And the unsettling sage, quality is now rescue or ransom him from wisdom. Yes, the tireless mechanic is one of the much longer stories, and certainly one of the more interesting ones. I haven't gotten very far in it thus far, and I don't think we're going to continue it at all tonight, because once I get back to London, we will end the episode there. As such, I hope you've all enjoyed watching. This has been BrainBoy 20 with Let's Play Sunless Sea, and I am signing off. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, or subscribe, for it helps out a great deal in helping other people like yourselves find these videos. And I hope to see you all next time. Although it's not exactly farewell just yet, for I have to end up in the docks first, and with that, we shall be finished. Farewell.